I'm Lucas.
I'm Mason.
Hi, I'm Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Natalie. And I'm Mackenzie.
We're reporting from St. Paul,
home of Minnesota State Capitol.
St. Paul is also the home of the Minnesota Historical Society.
St. Paul is also the home of St. Paul Cathedral. Awesome.
Also home of the Xcel Energy Center. That's where the Minnesota Wild play.
I can't wait to see the Minnesota Wild play.
Are we going to have fun, guys?
Yeah!
All right, very cool.
My name is Mason Schmidt, reporting from KGFW, and this is
Joel Ward.
How has hockey affected your life?
Well, hockey's been a big part of my life. My two older brothers played hockey, and I grew up in Toronto, in Canada there. So, hockey's a big part of, I guess, our culture in Canada, so to speak. So, I mean, it's probably my favorite game. I love to play it. I've played all my life, and I've kind of watched it on TV, cheering up for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So, that's how it's kind of influenced me playing hockey, and I kind of just took it from there.
Who were some of your role models when you were growing up?
I'd say my two older brothers. They played hockey growing up, so I pretty much looked up to them growing up, and of course watching the Leafs, such guys as Wendell Clark and Doug Gilmour and so on. So I was pretty excited to watch them on TV.
Is that all right if I have one of my helpers ask a couple questions?
Sure.
Why did you join hockey?
Why? Just because my family played hockey, and just again growing up in Canada, is hockey's a big sport back home. So we enjoyed it, and especially with a lot of winter up in Canada, there's not much to do except for skating on the pond and playing ice hockey. So
awesome. So when you were younger, did you like hockey?
Yeah, I mean, growing up in classes too, we take a recess. We played foot hockey, and outside after school, we used to play road hockey with my buddies. So, yeah, of course, hockey was always a big popular sport.
Sweet. What are some things you like to do other than that?
I like to listen to music and hanging out with friends and play video games. I like watching TV too. You like TV? So do I. So.
And when you're off hockey, what do you usually do?
Well, since hockey's a physical sport, I try to keep myself in best shape as possible, and to work hard off the ice as much as I can. But if I got some free time, I like to do a little shopping too at the mall, and hang out with buddies and do all sorts of things like that. So I just pretty low key. I don't like to do too much, but once in a while I like to go to the store or whatnot and hang around.
Yeah, I don't really like shopping. My mom goes shopping, but yeah. I don't really like going shopping.
You don't like Christmas shopping?
I like Christmas shopping.
Because you can get a lot of gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
the best part.
Yeah, it is.
I got another friend to ask you a question.
Okay.
What's your favorite memory from hockey?
Actually, I played in my first NHL hockey game with the Minnesota Wild the other day, so against Vancouver last Saturday. So I'd say that's my favorite so far while playing hockey.
Do you ever get nervous going out in front of all those people?
Sometimes, yeah, like especially when it gets really loud in the rink and people are cheering and booing you and stuff like that. So sometimes it gets a little nervous, and you just kind of try to put it past and just kind of keep focused and keep working hard.
Sometimes is it hard to stay up on the skates when it's kind of rough?
Oh yeah, for me it is anyways. I don't know about other guys, but for me sometimes my balance is not the greatest. So sometimes I do fall down quite a few times, but you just got to keep getting back up and keep trying again.
Have you ever got injured?
Yeah, actually I have. I had a bad knee for a while and sore ankles and sore hands and elbows. So hockey's a pretty rough sport. So sometimes you get some bumps and bruises, but I feel pretty good. So far my body's healing up pretty good. So I'm pretty excited.
I got one more friend that wants to ask some questions.
That pretty much wraps up our interview. Would you like to share anything else with us?
Sure. Just to kind of keep, if you got a goal in mind and you want to achieve that goal, don't let no one stop you. And my goal is to play in the National Hockey League and wear a Minnesota Wild jersey, and I didn't let nothing stop my goal. So for any of you guys out there to listen, make sure that, if you got a goal or you want something to achieve in life, make sure you put 100% effort into it and keep working forward and don't let no one tell you different.
Thanks. This is Natalie Weber reporting for KGFW. Okay, that was awesome, man. Yeah!
Well, we're looking at a statue of Snoopy sleeping. His dog house is built just like the Xcel Energy Center.
Hi, I'm Natalie Weber reporting for KGFW, and we are interviewing
Kathy Ross with the Xcel Energy Center.
Kathy, what's your favorite part about working at the Xcel Energy Center?
I would say my favorite part about working here is all the variety of events that we get to work on. We have the Minnesota Wild here and the Minnesota Swarm, but we also have a lot of concerts and family shows and special events that we put on.
What's your favorite thing to do while you're working?
Let's see. Gosh, I do so many different things on any given day. But, we do have some really fun moments where we present different artists that play in our building with jerseys or a gift. And sometimes we take our pictures with them. So I would say that's probably my favorite part of my job.
What's been your best show this year?
Gosh, we've had a lot of really big stars in this year. I don't know. I'm kind of a country western fan, so my favorite show was probably Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. But we also had Barbra Streisand in here, and we've had some really big names in the past, like the Rolling Stones and Paul McCartney. So it's been really fun, and we get really lucky to have those kind of people come through St. Paul.
Wow. Did you get to meet any of those people?
Sometimes we do. But some of the bigger stars, they like to keep to themselves and get focused on their concerts. So from time to time we do, when we give them their gifts and take pictures with them.
You just had a Disney on Ice. How did that go for you?
That show went really well for us. We had 9 different shows from Wednesday to Sunday, and it was Disney's 100 Years of Magic show. So we had everybody from Pinocchio and Jiminy Cricket to the Lion King and Aladdin and all the princes and princesses. It was a really fun show.
Must have been really fun.
Yeah, it was great. There were actually 2 skaters in the show that were from the Twin Cities. And we had a group of youth figure skaters come out from the Burnsville area, and they had a chance to do a behind-the-scenes day with the figure skaters, so they got to learn what it's like to be in Disney on Ice.
Cool.
All right, I got a question for you. Has any of the skaters fell during a show?
Gosh, you know what? I didn't see a single one of them fall. They practice for for thousands of hours to get ready for those shows. So I think by that time they've got it down pat, and sometimes they perform up to 3 shows in one day. So they get pretty used to doing their routine and getting used to being on their skates on the ice.
If any of them did fall, do you think it would wreck the whole show?
I don't think so. They know how to fall. They actually, performers like that, gymnasts and different athletes like that, part of their practice routine is learning how to fall and falling gracefully so that the show can go on without interruption.
What made you go into the entertainment industry?
Well, originally I worked on the sports side because I really loved hockey. And when I was trying to decide what I wanted to do for a job, I decided it would have to be something that I really enjoyed and really was passionate about. And I also really like music and entertainment. So when this job came about, I was really excited to apply for it.
Thank you very much for the interview. Anything else you'd like to tell us?
You're very welcome, Natalie, and I would encourage any of you out there who are interested in sports and entertainment to just come down and check us out. We're always open to talking with anybody who's interested in working in this field.
Thanks.
Wayne, where are we now?
We're in the Fishing Lodge, which is an area that a lot of our season ticket holders enjoy. It's an area that they can come during the intermission and chat and maybe have a drink and some food before the game.
Why don't the hockey players come in here that often?
Well, the hockey players have a lot to do during and before the games they get ready. So the players are busy getting ready for the game in the locker room and then doing their job on the ice. And the fans, after they're done watching them between periods, a lot of times will come in here to chat and watch Kevin Fallness handle the parts of the radio broadcast.
Are we able to meet Kevin?
I'm sure he's looking forward to it.
That's cool.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie, and now we're interviewing.
My name's Kevin fallness. I do the radio stuff for the Minnesota Wild. Between periods, before the game, after the game, just trying to keep fans updated on what's happening with their favorite hockey team.
Kevin, who inspired you to be this?
Who inspired me to do radio? I'd have to say Tom Reed. He's been around for a very long time. I remember watching him as a young man as I was growing up, and I thought as far as a guy that was a professional broadcaster, doesn't get any better than Tom Reed. Wait till you meet him. He's a piece of work. Trust me when I say that.
Yeah, I trust you.
Well, thank you. Well, that's good.
When you were younger, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I always wanted to be an astronaut. Didn't work out, so I'm actually pursuing another dream, which would be working in radio. I like to talk. I love it when people listen to me. It's kind of rare, but I enjoy working in the public forum and talking to the players. And I love hockey, and so being able to work and follow the hockey team has actually worked out very nicely for me. And keeping track of one of my favorite sports all time, and that's the great game of hockey, America's sport, if you will.
Oh yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. How has hockey impacted your life?
I'd say in a number of ways. For one, it keeps my dogs fed. But no, actually, there's a number of ways that I could tell you that hockey has impacted my life. I remember coming down to the old Civic Center and watching high school hockey. When I was in high school, when I was a little bit older than you guys are right now, coming down to St. Paul and watching the state tournament, for example, watching my friends play all through high school, myself as well, just starting when I was like 5 years old, strapping on the skates and going out there on the ice. It's a great bonding experience to do with your friends and just going out there to have fun, not going out there for anything more than just to have a good time and battle frostbite. We had a great time growing up doing that, as I'm sure you guys do as well, living in the great state of hockey.
Yeah, it says WCCO. What's that about?
Well, WCCO is the flagship station of Minnesota Wild Hockey. The way the broadcast works is we do the entire broadcast from down here, and what you hear on the radio here in the Twin Cities is on 830 WCCO. They're our flagship, and they basically are the epicenter of all the radio broadcasts. We've also got many other flagships throughout the state of hockey. We've got 28 affiliates across the state that will carry our games in their markets, ranging from everywhere from Fargo to Eau Claire, Mankato, Thunder Bay, Ontario. We got all kinds of points in between. So pretty much if you want to hear the Minnesota Wild and you're not in the Twin Cities metro area, you're covered by those affiliates. We're also on the Minnesota Wild website on wild.com, and you can hear us through Sirius satellite radio. So you know what? We've got you covered. If you want to catch the Minnesota Wild and you can't be in the arena or on the road with the team, we'll take you there thanks to Bob Kurtz and Tom Reed, who do a wonderful job calling all the play-by-play action on the Minnesota Wild Radio Network.
That's a lot of places.
It sure is. And you know what? There are a lot of great communities, and that's the best part about working in Minnesota and working with the fellas on the ice. It's also great people like yourself from across the state of hockey and beyond that bring, it's just fun working with those different communities. They do a wonderful job covering our team.
Can I have my picture taken with you?
I'm sorry, that'll be $50. I don't do free pictures.
Well, I don't got $50 on Slack, but I can ask my mom and dad.
Would you mind drawing a picture of me instead?
If I got paper.
Oh, I tell you what, I'll take a picture with you. I'll be happy to.
Okay, not with the $50.
You can keep the $50.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks for the interview.
Mackenzie, the pleasure was all mine. You're doing a wonderful job. Keep it up. You hear these on the air? We got shorter beds, longer beds like these. And hopefully we hear this a lot tonight. The goal horn outside. And this is, hit any of those buttons. Hit one of those.
You do know. Have balls.
We can use like as a sound effect.
Hi, thanks for calling. Hi,
my name's Luke Splumhofer, and we're interviewing
Travis Larson.
Hey Travis, what's this big machine behind us?
It would be an ice resurfacer, or commonly slang term Zamboni.
Do you get to drive this thing?
I do on occasion, here and there.
What exactly does the Zamboni do?
The ice resurfacer shaves off the old surface with a razor sharp blade, and then it puts down a new surface. So the water that you see coming out the back, we're just putting the new surface down.
What's the top speed?
Oh, between 8 and 10 miles an hour.
Got a horn on that thing?
Yep, we got a horn.
What does it sound like?
Well, let's see here, we can...
Who does the paint jobs on these?
Actually, they're big stickers, so it's actually not paint. So guys come in and they apply the decals on there, and for whatever marketing and advertising that we want to have on it.
How many miles are on this one?
Well, it really doesn't go by miles. It goes by hours on the machine, but it would equate to about 30. Probably about 30,000 miles.
Is there anything else you would like to share with us?
Well, one little interesting tidbit is this machine right here is the 7,000th Zamboni ever built, and this one is 7,001.
That's pretty cool. Is there a special company that makes them?
There's a few of them. One is Zamboni Company in California, and another one is Olympia up in Canada.
When did you start driving a Zamboni?
I started driving 14 years ago.
What did they do before Zamboni machines were around?
They used to have to do it all by hand.
That must have been a lot of work.
Yeah, they did work hard. There was probably about 7 or 8 guys with big, huge shovels and scrapers, and then a sort of like a wheelbarrow full of water that would lay down water.
The ice looks beautiful. Have you ever won any awards for it?
Well, no awards. We were ranked number 1 for the first quarter in the NHL for this season, so that's somewhat of an award, but not really.
Have you ever heard that one song, I Want to Drive a Zamboni?
Unfortunately, I have.
That's a pretty good song.
Some people's eyes.
Can I have my picture taken in the driver's seat?
You're stuck in the middle, Lucas.
Hi, my name is Lucas. Now we're interviewing.
Tom Reed. And Bob Kurtz.
Can you tell us a little bit about your job?
Well, I'm the radio analyst for all of the Wild games. We travel with the team, and Bob does all the play-by-play. He tells you where the puck is, and I try to add a little bit more about why things are happening and how goals are scored and why goals are scored, and give you a little information and insight into the game.
And I basically follow the puck. Wherever the puck goes, that's where my eyes go. So if Lucas has the puck, I say number 15, Lucas has the puck. And he shoots and he scores.
It's a pretty fast-moving, hard game. Isn't it hard to keep up?
Sometimes it can be. Sometimes our broadcast location's a little bit high, like we are here sometimes, and it's hard to see the numbers and the puck at different levels. So when the game moves fast, but it's a lot easier when the game goes faster, too, because there's more flow to the game.
It's moving along. We don't necessarily call every pass. I mean, all of a sudden, if it's just going from here to here to here to here, we'll edit it a little bit. So I can't talk as fast as the game can go.
How has hockey impacted your life?
Well, I'm from Ontario, Canada, a little place called Fort Erie, and I grew up playing hockey as a kid, about your age when I started. And then I was able to play junior and played for the Chicago Blackhawks back in the late 60s and came to the North Stars. And since then, I've been in broadcasting since 1978, so I've done it for quite a while. So it's had quite an impact in my life.
And I grew right up across the river from Canada in Detroit, Michigan. I used to grow up and when I was your age, watch Hockey Night in Canada, and now it pays all the bills, so it has a big impact in my life.
Do you have a favorite memory from playing hockey?
I have a favorite memory from going to hockey. When I was a little boy your age, my father took me down to the Olympia Stadium in Detroit, and I got to see Tom play when Tom was playing with the North Stars.
Now, if you believe that, you're in trouble. You can't believe everything. You can't believe all those play-by-play guys because they're not always accurate by what they say. I can tell you that. But I have lots of games I remember. I remember my first game in the NHL playing for the Blackhawks. I remember going to the playoffs one year. I remember some of the injuries I've had over the years. So there's lots of different games I've had as a player, and also some good memories as a broadcaster too.
What did you do to come back from some of those injuries?
I wanted to get paid, so I had to be back on the ice. That was the most important thing. But in those days, injuries are part of the game. I've had lots of stitches and lost some teeth, and I've had concussions and broken bones and cheekbones and broken jaws and things like that. But when you like to play the game, you want to be on the ice. So injuries don't keep you off the ice very long.
I just play golf. I don't like injuries.
So who are your role models when you were growing up?
I think my favorite player as a youngster was a fellow by the name of Jean Beliveau, who played for the Montreal Canadiens. And Mr. Beliveau still lives in Montreal, and I see him. We go to Montreal on occasion. But he was probably my favorite player. I was from a place called Fort Erie, Ontario, as I told you before, and a lot of the people in that area were Toronto Maple Leaf fans. But I was a Montreal Canadian fan, and I really enjoyed the Canadiens. And Mr. Beliveau was my favorite player.
I grew up in Detroit, and I followed the Red Wings, and Gordie Howe was their big player then, so I always liked to watch him. I always liked the announcers, too. They had Bud Lynch, a guy named Bud Lynch, who's actually still with the Detroit Red Wings. He's a public relations or the public address announcer. Now he's about 88, 89 years old now, but he's still in hockey. And Bruce Martin, those were the two announcers when I was a kid.
What makes hockey so special in Minnesota?
Well, it's wintertime. What else are you going to do? No, it's just it's part of the culture here. I think it's because it's winter, because it's cold, because water freezes outside. Hockey has really enjoyed a real niche in the local community. So going all the way back to I guess when John Mariucci was up at Eveleth and began coming down here to the University of Minnesota and making it a major sport as far as the university goes, and having all the kids grow up watching the Gopher players and wanting to play here. And then of course you had the North Stars, and now you have the Minnesota Wild.
And I have to agree with Bob. I think you have to look at the climate. You don't see too many outdoor rinks in Florida. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but you do see them up here. And I live in a home that has a pond behind it. We see the kids out there in the pond, about 3 rinks going all the time, and they're skating. And that's just the culture of the area. I mean, have developed a lot of players over the years with Neil Broughton and Reed Larson and guys of that caliber, Phil Housley, that have gone to play in the NHL. And I think Minnesota's produced a lot of NHL players over the last 10, 15, 20 years.
So what advice would you give to somebody following their dream?
Enjoy what you do. Have fun at what you do. Even with players today, even though it's a very tough physical game, I tell them all the time, make sure you have fun when you play. And you'll know when it's time to retire, when it's time to step away. But if you go to work every day and you enjoy what you do, it's not really a job, it's more of a hobby. And if you can be paid handsomely for that while you do your job, that's all the better. But never think you can't do something, because you always have the opportunities to reach your goals.
And I would go right along with what he says. I mean, just be patient, just study hard in school, and hopefully everything works out for you. But if not, then you have an education to fall back on. But you usually have to have an education to get into this, if this would be your dream. But it's like Tom said. It's nice to go to work and enjoy what you do.
Thank you very much for the interview. Is there anything else you would like to share with us?
Yeah, just basically have fun. I mean, I'm glad you guys are here, had a chance to come out and see what the National Hockey League is all about, see what the press box is, and see what Kevin Fallness does. We're still trying to figure out what Kevin Fallness does down there in that radio studio. And I'll watch your tape and find out.
He let us push a bunch of buttons.
I don't think there's anything behind those buttons. I think he just uses those to fool people.
That's how he orders his food. Each one of those buttons is for a different type of a sandwich. That's what it is. And what are you going to be when you grow up?
I'm not sure yet.
When will you be sure? I mean, how old are you?
9.
Well, you're almost 10. It's about time you start making some tough decisions.
Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll let you get back to your hobbies.
Thanks,
Lucas. All right, thanks, Lucas.
Thank you, Lucas.
Hi, my name is Mason, and we're interviewing
Mike Greenlay.
Hey, Mike, what's your role with the Minnesota Wild?
Well, Mason, I'm the television color analyst, which means I talk about hockey on TV. My partner does the play-by-play, which is what you hear when play's going on. And then when there's a whistle, I start talking about what happened during the play, and I show replays and show people what happened, and we talk about, and I tell people about the players, and I tell people about the coaches, and try and explain what the game's all about.
How has hockey impacted your life?
Well, like most kids, I started playing hockey, and I loved it, so I kept playing it. And basically, hockey's been a part of my life, my entire life. And I went on to play junior hockey, then college hockey, and professional hockey. And then once I retired from professional hockey, I became a broadcaster, and I've been broadcasting hockey ever since then. So hockey's a big part of my life because that's pretty much all I've ever done.
What's your favorite memory from hockey?
Oh boy, I have so many memories. It's hard to just say what one was. Obviously, being drafted was a big one for me because I was only 17 years old and I didn't expect to get drafted that young. Playing professional hockey was a great dream, and broadcasting's been a great dream, especially for the Minnesota Wild. So those are a few good memories of mine.
Do you have any other hobbies other than hockey?
Well, I guess you could call my family is, I guess it's not really a hobby, but I spend a lot of time with my family. And I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, so we do that, and they're playing hockey now. So one of my hobbies is to watch them play hockey, and so that's one thing I like to do. And I'm involved with some other business ventures around the Twin Cities, so that's also important to me. But basically, mostly being around my family, and since hockey is such a busy job, it's either being with my family or being at my work, which is hockey.
Who inspired you to play hockey?
Actually my father did, because my father played college hockey up in Canada, and I'm sure like most fathers who played hockey, they want to see their kids play hockey, and so he put me out there on the ice, and I enjoyed it so much that I just kept playing.
Do you have any advice for kids like me who want to play hockey someday?
Well, I think the most important thing about playing hockey is to make sure you're playing it to have fun. Because if you're not having fun at it, then you really won't do well at it. I think having fun is the most important thing. So just keep practicing hard, play hard, have fun, and everything should work out great.
Thank you very much for the interview. Is there anything else you want to share with us?
Well, you're quite welcome. I'm glad to be part of your show. And Mason, I think you're going to make a heck of a broadcaster one day.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Lucas, and now we're interviewing.
I'm Bill Robertson from the Minnesota Wild.
What's your role with the Wild?
Well, my role is I'm the Vice President of Communications and Broadcasting. We take care of all the media and all the broadcast partners, all the internet and the publications and the website.
What is the favorite part about your job?
Favorite part of my job is working with great people. We think we have the best employees and the best staff in all the National Hockey League. That's what I like.
This is a beautiful arena.
Well, it is a nice arena. There was a lot of work and thought and preparation that went into making this arena what it is, and it's one of the best, if not the best, in all of professional sports.
How has hockey affected your life?
Well, it has affected my life in a lot of ways, and I'd say more than anything, I've gotten to travel all over North America and all over the world with my hockey travels, from Japan to Italy to all of Canada and the United States.
Bill, it's been great having you on our show. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
Well, we're happy to have you and your group of budding sportscasters here tonight at the Xcel Energy Center, and hopefully the Wild will get you a victory tonight.
Thank you very much for the interview.
You're welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Trip for the Minnesota Wild game. What'd you think? How'd you think it was, guys?
Good. Awesome. Sweet. Pretty cool.
Festival.
I want to thank you guys all for coming. I had a great time touring you around the Xcel Energy Center. I hope you enjoyed the game, a 5-2 Wild win tonight. And hopefully you guys come back and enjoy a game soon or catch us on TV or radio.
I'll see you on Saturday.
You'll be back on Saturday? Great. Great. I want to tell everybody you guys do a great job, and I think you all have very bright futures in the communications industry, and it was my pleasure to have you here.